Okay, the only other, the last question I want to ask about just the space and other players in the space, because this one seemed interesting, was the Aurora Space Station. Do you know this one? So you're laughing because that's what it looked like to me kind of when I read about it. So I'm just going to quote Wikipedia here. Aurora Space Station, a United States startup firm, Orion Span, announced during the early part of 2018 it plans to launch and position a luxury space hotel. Again, talking about not everyone's going to space, people, quite yet. But a luxury space hotel to orbit within several years. Project remains in the preliminary stages, and we're going to ask Valerie about that if she knows the latest. But Aurora Station, the name of the hotel, will offer guests a maximum of 6 individuals, 12 days of staying in a pill-shaped space hotel for $9.5 million floating in the unexplored universe. The guest cabin, the hotel's cabin measures approximately 43 feet by 14 feet in width. Guests can enjoy non-space food and drinks for a small fee. That was my favorite part. Yeah, so I thought you've just paid $9.5 million to be there, and they're just going to charge you a little bit if you want non-space food. And I assume that non-space food means that it's just not freeze-dried or whatever the packets that we always think of as space food. I don't know if they've got a cook up there. You just have to. But good news is it won't be much more expensive.
Right.
It's just a little extra.
It's just on top of your $9.5 million or whatever.
Yeah. But anyway, is that still, have you heard anything about that? Is that happening?
Yeah. Excuse me. Sorry for the coughing.
That's all right.
Yes. So Orion Span, I've made some predictions for space tourism. We're going to come back to them. But one of the ones we're not going to come back to is the sort of outlandish ideas category. This was one of those ideas that I just didn't see how it was going to make sense. That's not to say a space hotel can't be built. Bigelow Aerospace has actually built a space hotel. They have 2 inflatable habitats already in space. So Bigelow Aerospace, founded by very wealthy businessman Robert Bigelow I think he's out of Colorado. He's already proven that you can build the technology to put these kind of habitats in space. But Orion Span seemed a little bit outlandish because their timeline was exceptionally aggressive and they didn't seem to have the funding secured to make it happen. Okay. So the reason things like Virgin Galactic and Blue Origin are working is because they're basically funded, they're bootstrapped by billionaires. The average person won't get behind that business model if there's no backer to really guarantee it's going to happen.
Right.
So Orion Span tried to crowdfund it. They didn't crowdfund it Kickstarter. There's actually, it was an investment crowdfunding. So you were going to become an investor in the company. That whatever you contributed, 9.5 million, was going to be part of your, you would basically get assets in the company and you'd get to go to space as a result for helping make the whole project happen. They raised, I believe, roughly 10% of what they needed to raise in their multi-month campaign. And so the last I saw, because I get these alerts on my email, is that it's very unlikely to happen. It's just not got the crowd support, and it doesn't have the billionaire backer to make it happen, unfortunately.
Well, if I go, I'll just be taking protein bars. I'm not paying extra. I'm not paying after my $9.5 million. I'm not paying extra for food.
They're going to weigh you, and then they're going to reweigh you with your protein bars and be like, this is 3 extra gallons of fuel. What did you do?
And I'll be like, well, I need my own fuel, and I'm not paying for that food up there. Okay.